Matthews Ford in Broken Arrow has been collaborating with Broken Arrow Public Schools since 2016. Through this partnership, Matthews Ford sponsors the Broken Arrow Teacher of the Year Award by providing a courtesy car for the winner to drive throughout the year. We'd like to recognize Matthews Ford for their efforts in supporting educators and being a valuable community partner with Broken Arrow Public Schools. This support sets a great example of how local businesses can work together with our school system to create a better future for all.
If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Life happens in a hurry. Our money experts will help you keep up. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Ascension St. John, you'll find advanced heart care, brain and spine care, and personalized cancer care. And we excel just as much in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools.
Y'all clear the mat? Clear the mat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's duel featuring the Bixby Spartans and your Broken Arrow Tigers. gentlemen, at this time, we invite you to stand and remove your caps, and all military men and women, active or veterans, render a salute to the flag of the United States of America as we honor those men and women who protect our freedoms both home and abroad with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by Emily Beckley, a varsity wrestler here at Broken Arrow High School.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the Rockies' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi, and welcome inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. 3 people on commentating tonight. I'm Dan Hawk. As always, Chris Forbes and Isaiah Page, former Broken Arrow All-State Wrestling Champion, is with us as well, as we got a big one tonight, boys. Bixby is in the house. They are ranked nationally, one of the best teams in the state. So I got to ask the both of you, can we get it any bigger tonight with Broken Arrow Wrestling taking on the Bixby Spartans?
I don't think so, but that's why you come here to Broken Arrow. You know, you've got these good matchups. Bixby's ranked 20th in the nation, and they're ranked number 2 in the state. So Broken Arrow number 3 in the state, so it'll be a time for them to prove themselves. So I'm excited.
How about you, Isaiah?
You know, I'm excited. I could tell the fans are excited. For me personally, this is my first time getting to support the Broken Arrow Tigers, you know, this season. So it's time. It's exciting.
Yeah, and you were kind of telling me before we started, Chris, that there's been a change of the guard at Bixby. They brought in a former Division I coach in the program, and it's been a special time for them as their program has been on the rise.
Well, yeah, he's been there for a few years now, but, you know, Ray Blake, an amazing coach. You know, I was over there a little bit with some of these kids as far as Roller. You know, Shane Roller had a youth program that a lot of these kids have moved up from that youth program. A lot of talent in Bixby, great coaching over there, so it's going to be exciting, and you can tell how exciting this match is by the crowd we got here tonight. So I'm excited to watch this duel.
Yeah, and for the both of you, I kind of want to break down on the boys' side of things on 132 as well as 136. You kind of were telling me before we started, the both of you, that those could be the matches that you're going to want to watch for on the broadcast.
I was thinking 32 and 126, actually.
Oh, 126.
Yeah, 126, 132. You know, we're going to have you know, some good matchups there. We got Evan Rodriguez. He's gonna wrestle against Gage Walker, Gage national rank, commit to Missouri. You know, they've got several D1 commits on this Bixby wrestling team, so it's gonna be fun to watch. And Broken Arrow gets to test himself, and I think they're ready for the test.
And on the girls' side, Ashton Sagely, she picked up a big pin on Tuesday night against the Moore Lions. I mean, she flipped her over. I was on the call, and it was very impressive. You wrestled with her dad, who wrestled at Cornell. So I expect her. She's going to be facing Jocelyn Lazar. Don't know much about her, but with Sagely, she's going to want another pin out of her this evening.
Crazy things, I wrestled with her dad and her uncle. So Chris and Dennis Sagely wrestled with both, Jason, Jason. Chris is the younger one, so Chris was younger than me, but I wrestled with Jason and Dennis Sagely, so it's fun to see her have she had a pin last time we were here.
Yeah,
so it's fun to watch her have success in the sport.
It's going to be a fun one tonight. The Bixby Spartans taking on the Broken Arrow Tigers inside the field house. We want to thank our One Club sponsors, First National Bank of Broken Arrow, Ascension St. John, Tulsa Bone and Joint, TTCU Federal Credit Union, the Arrow Group, and of course Matthews Ford and Quick Trip. We've got Broken Arrow Tiger Wrestling taking on the Bixby Spartans inside the field house next on ArrowVision. Stay with us.
Your side hustle keeps you moving. We'll help you get where you really want to go. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Matthews Ford and Broken Arrow has been collaborating with Broken Arrow Public Schools since 2016 and sponsors the Broken Arrow Teacher of the Year Award by providing a courtesy car for the winner to drive throughout the year. We'd like to recognize Matthews Ford for being a valuable community partner with Broken Arrow Public Schools.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Reintroduce you. Step into the madness. Step into the madness.
Cheers.
And welcome back inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. Broken Arrow Tiger Wrestling taking on the Bixby Spartans, nationally ranked Bixby Spartans. The Tigers come in number 3 in the state. Bixby comes in at number 2 in the state as well. I'm Dan Hawk alongside Chris Forbes and former state champion Isaiah Page, as we've got you covered tonight for this dual match set with the Bixby Spartans. And it looks like for the boys, they're going to start out at 120 with Hudson Beckley, who's coming in at 121.9 versus Colton Dyer, 121.6.
And I think, Dan, sometimes they leave it up to coaches instead of just starting at the lowest weight and going down to pick where they think the strongest point, or they have an option of doing that. And I'm not sure which, but they wanted to start off 120. So we'll be seeing the 120-pounders get the start, and it'll go from there. It'll go up weights, and then looks like we'll end at the 113-pound match. So I'm excited to see it. You know, like I said, the number 2 and number 3 ranked teams in the state going at it. Great crowd. Going to be an exciting time.
Absolutely. Isaiah, you're not that far removed from wrestling for Broken Arrow. Just tell me about wrestling here in this field house and what it meant to you.
Sure, yeah. So, in 2016 when I was here wrestling, we had all 3 of the Jones brothers here coaching. And, they took a lot of pride in coaching us. We took a lot of pride in wrestling for them. And, it's just a lot of fun, and it's a lot real serious. There's a, deep culture in winning here. So it's very exciting to be back and see that, we're having success, number 3 ranked.
Can't get it any better as both wrestlers started out just 10 seconds into the match, and they're both trying to feel each other out.
They're trying to feel each other out. It looks like, Hudson Beckley of Broken Arrow is going to have the advantage here. He's a returning, I believe I know he's a state qualifier. I can't remember if he got on the podium or not, but he's one of Broken Arrow's top kids. He's getting them started here against Caden Dyer. Dyer's been around for a while too, so it's going to be a good match.
And on the girls' side, it's Elena Peralta versus Darlene Larea. That'll be weight class 100. Peralta 101.7, Larea 101.2. So we'll have it on dual boxes as well for you at home as we stream this, as we're almost down to a minute left.
Minute left. These guys are still kind of feeling themselves. Nice little shot by Dyer. Good defense by Beckley. Just got to keep going. Get your fakes. Get your motion going. Kind of get that guy off balance, especially when you guys are kind of feeling each other out. Got to kind of push some action here.
Sure.
Get them out of position.
They're both wrestling so low that, I think it's going to take them kind of changing things up to get into a shot.
You got 38 seconds. Dyer needs to keep in mind, Beckley's very comfortable on the mat. That's probably where his best position is on top. So
Peralta just picked up a pin for the ladies, and the Lady Tigers are on the board with their first pin.
They do a good job of that. They're good about finishing matches over there on the ladies' side. They're very good about, once they get you on your back, they finish you and get the fall. So 11 seconds still scoreless here. Like I said, these guys are kind of filling each other out. I know Beckley's very comfortable on the mat, so even if this does go 0-0, it might not be too bad for him.
And also on the ladies' side, Lily Lane picked up a no decision. The Lady Tigers didn't have a wrestler at 105, so Lane is your winner there.
Gets the 6 points back. That's why it's so important to have a full lineup when you wrestle these. You don't want to give the easy points up.
No, you do not.
Dyer's throwing in the legs as well. He's got some savviness on top, and a lot of these Bixby guys do. They come from that Raw program where they've known how to, the feeder programs there at Bixby are really good about mat wrestling as well. So we'll see that on both sides.
Paige, I got to ask you, when you're wrapped up like that, how tough is it to get out of that if you're a Tiger right there?
Sure, you get somebody who's riding legs and they're good at it. It is really hard to not spend 2 minutes, a whole period down there. It takes a lot of willpower to get up out of that.
No doubt. And what Beckley's doing right now is the right thing. Beckley's got to kind of sink down a little bit, get the inside of that foot, and start pulling that foot away.
Sure, that's my turn.
He's getting too high now. He's got to kind of climb that back. Oh, he's close to a count there.
Reversed her right there.
And the official tonight is Josh Briscoe. He's one of the top officials, not just in the state, but in the country. He's officiated some of the best NCAA matches. He's well known all over.
He's done it at the BOK for the Big 12 championships.
Big 12s. He did the NCAA tournament as well. I mean, he's been involved in some major wrestling matches. So that just shows you how important this duel is to have someone like Josh Briscoe here officiating tonight.
Sophia Reese taking on Jaden Roller. I know you commented on Roller and her ability for Bixby on the ladies' side.
She's nationally ranked, super tough, returning state champ. She's an absolute hammer on the mat.
Looks like we just got a stalling call by Beckley from Broken Arrow. Looks like he's going to need to get off his belly and start wrestling here.
You told
Dyer's been tough on top, riding him out. Now Beckley's got to return the favor and try to get some back points. Isaiah, you said he's got a stall call on him, right?
Sure.
So he's got a stall call, so he's got to work.
We're going to go to period 3 with Beckley and Dyer coming up.
It's like an injury time.
He's kind of cranking on them shoulders, but Beckley's got to. Beckley looks a little tired here.
Yep.
It's tired. Dyer, if you're a wrestler, I always thought of this. If I see someone kind of a chink in the armor, it kind of gives me a little bit of extra little umph and power. So if I'm Dyer, I've got that little bit of umph, like, hey, I've got this.
What's he telling him right there at that junction?
If I'm Rod, I'm telling him, hey, you get down there unless your arm's falling off and be ready to wrestle.
Well, yeah, you saw him try to call the injury time, and I know from experience, Coach Rod said, no, you're getting in there and you're wrestling.
And that's the right call. He shouldn't even show that chink because right now, Dyer's energy level's high now.
Sure, he's excited, yeah.
You know, and what now Beckley's got to do is wrestle his match. Throw the legs in. He wants to be on top. Now he's on top. Let's make something happen.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling, 2 minutes left. Anything could happen here.
So he's isolating that wrist. And just like what Beckley's got to do, Dyer's got to clear the leg. He's got to clear that one leg, hip down, and then isolate it and isolate a leg. Right now he's in trouble because he's riding high on that thigh. Beckley's got a good job of riding high on that thigh, and he's looking for a possible Turk.
And he's trying to rotate him over. And
exactly, Danny's trying to get those hips over.
A little high there.
And Dyer's doing a good job here. And he's out. He's out. He's got the reversal.
Dyer's going to pick up a couple more there, 10-3.
No, I think they've got the score wrong down there. It's actually
okay,
that's a junior high score.
It. Yeah, they just flipped it. Okay.
Yeah, it's 2-0 right now, Dyer. But Dyer's put a tough ride on him that whole second period. So he's you know, I hate to say this, but you know, Beckley's usually a mentally strong kid. He doesn't look like himself tonight because, you know, Dyer's kind of broke him on top.
Sure, yeah, you get rode with those legs for 2 minutes and it'll break you. I mean,
No
it's
doubt.
tough on the shoulders. It'll tire you.
Down to 20 seconds.
20 seconds left. Buckley's got to kind of he's got to get his hips off the mat.
Sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if they call a stall on him again. I mean, he's got it. There it is, right there. He's got the second stall, got a point.
Down to 5.
I think that's a match.
Dyer's going to win this one.
And I think the match was won in that second period when he kind of had the head down trying to call timeout, to be honest. Dyer wanted it more there. So
Beckley just looks worn out.
Yes. So we've got a 3-0 lead for Bixby. Dyer gets the win, gets Bixby off to a good start.
So now
we're going to have Hunter Knox. And he's a Fargo. Both these guys had good summers. They both All-American in Fargo. Isaiah Jones he's been so close to some of these big tournaments. He's been just outside of placing at Ironman, Doc B, some of these major tournaments. But both these guys are really tough wrestlers, so this is going to be a good match.
Knox comes in at 127.5. Jones 127.1. So 0.4 of a pound of a difference.
Like I said, both guys are returning. They came away Fargo with an All-American, which was great. You know, I think Isaiah doubled up, both Greco and freestyle, and I think Hunter just got a freestyle, or got a Greco, sorry, All-American.
So 2 points goes to Jones.
The first takedown goes to Jones.
You know, a lot of movement in this first period. You know, these guys are doing some wrestling and taking some shots.
No doubt. And Jones is really good at cheap tilts. He can get a cheap tilt on you, do that bar arm cheap tilt.
And a night like this, I know it's only 1 point there, but this for the both of you. You got to take them when you get them, when you can get a point.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the difference in the college wrestling and the high school right now. High school is still a 2-point takedown. So all it takes is, you know, Hunter to get a takedown. He's ahead in this match. So, you know, I like the new rule in college because it rewards the offensive wrestler. They're still not there yet in high school. So you've got to get another takedown like this to kind of extend your lead.
Sure,
so,
now he's feeling a little bit more comfortable after that.
So it's 4-1 right now. He's going for a cradle. He's looking for some bonus. And there's been a stall call already. And like we were saying earlier, Briscoe is a college official, so they don't mess around when it comes to the stalls. He's got to get that elbow down. He's in trouble if he doesn't get that elbow down. He can call the fall here because he's still got supporting points on the mat. Hunter's got to figure out a way to get off that mat. Isaiah Jones is doing a good job of circling him back on.
Now he's going into pin formation here.
At this point, I would be bridging out, you know, trying to get out of bounds.
Yeah, he's got to bridge and get his feet off the mat and get a fresh start. Just like the 90s sitcom Saved by the Bell there.
Yeah,
So Jones has got a 9-2 lead. Isaiah, I think we've said it before. Did you want to kind of, we've said it previous ones, but, you know, kind of go over for the audience kind of what a major, what a tech fall, what a pin, what those points are, and how they get those added up?
Sure. Yeah, if I can recall. I guess it's been so long since I've had to think about it. So, yeah, of course, pinfall, that's going to be the most points you could score with 6.
Yep.
You have a technical fall, which is winning by 15 points. That's, of course, the next best thing with 5 team points you get. Now, a major is just about half of that. If you beat your opponent by 8 points, that's going to be a 4-point win for your team. And finally, you have just a decision, 8 points or less. 3. Of course, everybody's going for, you know, the next best thing. You want to push for those extra points.
No doubt, and that's what helps, and you know, is to you know, you want to get as many points as you can for your team. So that's why they're out there scrapping.
Jones has definitely been the aggressor in this match.
Absolutely. It seems like thus far, Bixby overall has kind of been the aggressor.
I believe on the ladies' mat, I believe that is Emily Beckley taking on Laura Mullen.
Zay's looking for that takedown. There's 39 seconds here. Hunter's got to get a good little stop here.
Oh, sure. You reckon that's brother and sister out there wrestling?
I believe that is how it was the last time when we watched that with the Beckleys.
Very cool. Now, my sister back in the day, she was a manager, so she was mat side with me, but she wasn't out there letting it fly.
Down to 15 seconds now.
And on the far mat, that is looks like Lara Mullen. That's
taking on Emily Beckley.
Okay, Emily Beckley. So Beckley and Mullen, this should be a good match.
Both coming in at 122 for the 120 weight class.
So we got 11-2 match. Isaiah Jones going to go into the third period with the lead, and the choice will be on Hunter Knox. So Hunter Knox will get the choice in the third. If I'm him, I'm going to go down because he's been kind of releasing them, so at least have an option to get some points here.
Sure, and once again, you know, you want to fight for those extra bonus points,
no doubt,
you know, for the major. But at the same time, if you're Broken Arrow, you know, you want to fight to not get major, because even though you're not winning that match, not giving up those extra points matters whenever that last match is getting wrestled and that team score is getting tallied up.
Exactly, Isaiah. It's a team sport in that aspect, because you want to, you know, even if you're not winning here, maybe you can not get majored or not get pinned or do whatever to kind of help your team out. And right now he's getting overpowered by Isaiah Jones, so he needs to try to do what he can to kind of make this match as close as possible.
Another point for Knox.
And Lara down there, what's 2-1 here, so it's a 2-1 match down there with
Lara Mullen and Emily Beckley.
Emily Beckley and Lara Mullen. Hunter Knox has got to get that elbow down. When he gets hit in that snake, he's got to keep his elbow down. He's in trouble now. It's hard to get out of this double flanker right here. Maybe he needs to get his elbow posted on his lower back to prevent those shoulders from going down. But Isaiah Jones has got him in a pretty tight half here. He's got to get that arm through. He did a good job of fighting off his back. Next time they get in that position, Isaiah, he's got to get that elbow down. He's keeping his elbow up too high.
Yeah, he's leading at 18-4.
Yeah, he's 18-5 here. So, you know, one more. There's the point right there for the caution. So he gets a takedown. It's a technical fall. Isaiah, we talked about it earlier. You got to do something for your team. Like, you're going to get beat by, give the 14 points. Try not to give up 5 by a tech fall.
Sure, and a headlock.
Nice headlock. We mentioned earlier he's got the Greco background with the Fargo All-American and Greco. That shows that Greco's an upper body style of wrestling.
Sure.
And he just showed it right there. But he's got to be ready. There's still 40 seconds in this match.
How impressed are you by Jones, Forbes, just watching him tonight?
Jones is a tough wrestler. He's one of those guys that his freshman year had an injury, wasn't healthy. This sophomore year came out. He's one of those guys that's going to be on a lot of college coaches' radars. He's a very tough wrestler. Another point. And that's a tech fall. Should be 20-5. That's a tech fall.
That will do it.
And we're on the girls right now before this next match starts, but looks like, what is the score on that, Dan? Is that 4-2?
Looks like 4-2 down there.
Lara Mullins looked like she's going for a takedown over Beckley. And this is probably one of their premier matches. Looks like we've got a minute 27 left. Is that the third period? Is this the third period? So this is anybody's match here. Okay, so third period here. And these girls are scrambling here.
Looks like she scored another
Got another takedown. And here's one of our premier matches here in the boys. It looks like we're going to have Gage Walker, which is a commit to Missouri, one of their tougher senior leaders for Bixby. He's a three-time state champ. Ironman, he placed fifth at the Ironman. He placed third at the Doc B. Bixby's got one of the tougher schedules in the country. So does Broken Arrow. And they go to the who's who of the tournaments. And he's wrestling against Evan Rodriguez of Broken Arrow, which is one of the senior leaders for Broken Arrow as well. And Evan gets an escape. That's always good. You give up a takedown, then get your points back. Gage Walker in on another shot. Evan's got that whizzer in. He's got to clear that leg out. Clear that leg out. He's going through a pass by here. Now he's got to just keep that leg straight. Hope for a stalemate here.
If I remember right, you told me you like being on top. Paige, were you a bottom or a top when you were on the mat?
You know, I was never one to really be too great at riding guys out, so my plan was to pick bottom, get out, and then take them down and cut them.
There you go. That was me. I like takedowns too. I like to be on my feet more. Another shot by Gage Walker.
Gage Walker, man, he is quick on his feet.
He's got a really good shot. He's really tough on top, so it was good for Evan to get away like he did because Gage has got a really good tight waist tilt on top.
Yeah. Really great timing with those shots as well. I mean, as soon as those hands go up, and you blink and he's right there and on a shot.
And on the
there
Lady
he is trying
Tigers
for his
mat,
tilt. He's up 4-1 right now.
On the Lady Tigers mat, it's Ashen Sagely taking on Jocelyn Lazar. Rodriguez
Walker's running that.
Rodriguez
has got to look away. He's got to look. There you go. He can't look into that half. He's got to look.
Did you get the microphone in his ear?
I guess. Got the little microphone in the headgear.
If that could only work.
Right. Hey, they do it in football. Maybe we can do it in wrestling.
Man, if they had that, that would be a complete game changer if you had an earpiece in someone's ear.
Right.
So that will end the first.
So we've got a 4-1 match here. He's pointing at red. So in these duels, usually red's associated with the visiting team, and then green will be the home team. So Broken Arrow will be green, Bixby will be red.
It looks like Rodriguez might even be getting tired right now. He was moving quick, wrestling really well on bottom. You see him starting to slow down just a little bit, a little less explosive here.
And this is where Gage is really good. And I like I said, Evan did a really good job getting escape here. He's got to control hands, isolate, and then get to his feet, which is what he's doing right now. So good. So we've got a 4-2 match here.
You did exactly what you were talking about earlier. Get the points when you can by escaping out.
Oh, yeah. Now
nice
Evan's in on a shot right here. Gage is doing a good job of countering. He's locked up a cradle here.
This is dangerous here.
You know, it's funny. You know, Gage is going to Missouri. That move right there is kind of made famous by one of Missouri's top wrestlers, Keegan O'Toole. It's a kind of a counter to a shot into a cradle.
Rodriguez trying to grab that back leg just to get out of it.
Yeah, he's trying. He's got to be careful here. He can hurt his arm if he's got his arm out.
You know, if I were Rodriguez, I'd be peeling some hands right about now.
He's got to go to the hands and start feeling those hands.
And Sagely picked up the fall on the far end for the Lady Tigers.
We were just talking about how good she's been doing this year, so she's on pace again with another fall.
It's 2 straight matches here at home that she's been able to pick up a fall.
She's on fire. Rodriguez has got to get what they tell you to get big, which means, don't go on a ball, get big and fight hands. And he's done a good job of getting big. He's getting back to his feet.
When you have a referee that's called NCAA tournaments, how harder is that for a high school wrestler to have that knowledge of that kind of referee? Because he sees everything, unlike some referees out there.
I think we've got good referees here in Oklahoma. I think the biggest difference, like you saw in the first match, is he doesn't hold the stalls back. So if you're stalling, he's going to call it quick. Because in college, they call stalls very fast. I mean, it's instant. So if you're backing away or doing anything,
is he a former wrestler himself?
Yeah, he wrestled for Sand Springs.
Okay.
Yep.
I would say the same thing. They definitely don't hold back and keep that same standard and expectation, for the wrestlers to get out there and move, put on a good show.
So Gage is choosing down. I think Gage's transition into college is going to be really good. He's really good on the mat. He's good on bottom. He's good on top. He's almost in every match. Evan's wrestling really hard here. I'd like to see, I don't know if he's decided or not, but if some school picks him up, he's going to be a good pickup for somebody. (10-2) here. Gage so far has got the major. Like Isaiah was saying earlier, if you win by 8 points or more, it's a 4-point win for the team. It's a major. There's the stall again. He's calling it kind of tapering down a little bit, but college, they want the action. If you're not shooting or you're not doing anything, they call a stall.
And on the ladies' mats, it's Tiffany Bershear taking on Brooke Pate.
Walker's got another takedown, goes up 12-2 with 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Evans doing a good job controlling hands on bottom and getting away and not getting tilted here. He's got to get some more points back and try to get this thing going.
I would love to be on the bench right now to hear what Rod is having to say to his boys.
If he can get an escape and get to a takedown, he can get this just to a decision. I mean, he's got to keep fighting here. Evans fighting hard here.
Like that.
He's got the reversal here.
Got a reversal and
almost back points here.
That's why you got to keep. Just like that in wrestling.
I'd almost cut him if I was Rod and try for a takedown. Maybe, I don't know. Although he's, Gage has been the one that's getting the takedowns, but it's an 8-point match right now.
Sure, at this point, maybe we're thinking cheap tilt.
Maybe act like you're cutting him. Go to a cradle, something. At this point.
Eight seconds.
Although it's going to be a major decision, 12-4, Gage Walker. I think it was a good match by Evan. I really thought he wrestled real tough. Gage is one of the top kids nationally ranked. He's one of the top kids in the country. Evan wrestled hard from the start of the whistle till the end.
Sure, really good wrestling from the both of them.
I know he wanted the victory there, but...
So we've got Jake Miller. He's going to be wrestling against Gabe Blankenship. Miller came in from Blackwell last year. Gabe Blankenship, his brother Zach Blankenship, was a really good wrestler for Bixby. Now he's wrestling at OSU. So
that might be why he's wearing those OSU headgear.
Yeah, that's why he got the orange.
Beautiful double leg right off the bat.
But Miller's the favorite in this match, so he's the one that can get Broken Arrow on the board right now, because right now Bixby's got a 12-0 lead in the duel. So number 2, Bixby's got a 12-0 lead.
He's going to choose neutral and get that point there.
Yeah, Miller needs to show some dominance here and get some points on the board for Broken Arrow.
It's encouraging as well for the team, to really go out there and let it fly, seeing your teammate get out there and get after it.
Another good takedown. So Miller's got a 4-1 lead here, 1 minute and 26 seconds. Looks like on the girls' side, Broken Arrow's looking for another fall down there. Dan, who is that on the girls' side,
I believe that is Addie Farquhar.
Oh, Farquhar, okay.
I believe.
Yeah,
Let me see. Yes, it is Farquhar.
Okay, I wrestled with her brother Wade, so.
Taking on Pate, Brooke Pate. And
Her
Addie
brother
is
or
gonna-
her father, who knows? They got a 3 here, so it's. You don't hear it too many, so anytime I hear the name Farquhar, I know where it comes from. Josh wrestled with my son, and then it was his dad, Wade. I wrestled with his dad, so.
An injury
sure that's the
timeout on
daughter.
the boys right now. So we'll check in on the girls in just a minute.
Yeah, I think they had some blood time, and we've talked about this before. You know it's a tough sport when you have blood time into the sport.
They're checking his Miller's arms, legs, you name it right
Make
now.
sure there's no blood on there. And that's his dad, which is coming over to coach too, Bobby Miller. He's on the staff now with Rod Jones and those guys.
Farquhar. Right now we're getting timed on both matches. So Blankenship will go down. Nope, going neutral.
Well,
again.
he went down, and what happened is Miller chose to let him on his feet so he could get another takedown. There's 50 seconds here. Miller's going to try to do the takedown game, try to extend the lead a little bit.
You know, we've talked about the quickness before, but I got to ask the both of you. I mean, we saw Miller go to the legs and quickly to the head. I mean, you got to be light on your feet in this sport.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't want to be on, they say, on your heels. I still do it to this day. I catch myself walking on my toes because you just always got to have quick reaction, you know.
Never goes away.
Yeah.
You know, all while keeping those feet moving, you know, without kind of framing it in a position to where they're going to be able to tell, you know, where your feet are going. You kind of got to move around in a way that they're not going to be able to time those legs going around. So, yeah, there's a lot to being light on your feet and being spontaneous in a way as well.
We're going to go to the period number 2 with Miller and Blankenship.
So here we go. Period 2. It's Bixby's choice. Blankenship chooses down, which is I would right now because he's cutting them anyways. You don't have to work for your points, which he's just got another point. He got cut. So 7-3 right now is the score. Miller from Broken Arrow is on top of Blankenship of Bixby.
He's got the head.
What you got to do if you're Miller is get his head to the mat. Get his head to the mat and then look for your points. We got my good friend and Senator Mark Wayne Mullen in the house watching. He's got his daughter and his middle son actually wrestles here at Bixby, but he's had a knee injury where he's out, Andrew. So he's out for the season, but his daughter
Is he up
Lara,
top or down low?
his daughter Lara wrestled over on the far mat. We got another injury time right here, another blood time with Blankenship. Blankenship's got blood time.
You know, if I were Miller, I'd keep on working to secure that major decision by 8 points, and then I would start looking for a fall.
Miller.
Yeah, at some point, Isaiah, some point you got to look for a fall for your team. You got to get if you're overmatching the guy, you got to look for the most points possible.
Under 50 seconds now in period number 2 with Miller and Blankenship. And we'll go back to the middle as they went outside the mark.
It's 7-3 score right now. you know, what I would do is I'd Blankenship, stay busy, kind of prevent them from trying to extend the lead a little more, but definitely try to do what you can to keep this match as close as you can. Because right now it's not even, it's just a 3-point decision, and if you look at it, Jake Miller's been dominant, but he's still not to a major decision.
You know, I'm wondering if Miller has kind of gotten tired, or if Blankenship is figuring him out, because, yeah, the points have definitely slowed down on that scoreboard.
And we talked about it earlier, the difference between college and high school is that 3-point takedown. Right now, Miller would almost be toward a tech if we're talking college, but since this is high school, there's only a 2-to-1 difference instead of a 3. So it's almost a different animal when you're talking on the college scene. Top. It's going to go into the third period. Miller will get the choice. He's going to choose down. So he's 1 point away from, actually, he's 2 points away from a major decision right now. And we've talked about it. I mean,
but you want to get the pin in this situation.
Yeah, he's been dominant. He needs to work for the pin. You don't really separate yourself with a takedown and cutting them unless you're just getting a ton of them. The main way to separate is if you're going to get some back points. So you've got to look to get some back points here. There's a point there for Miller, so 10-3.
Sure, and there's the major decision secured.
Yeah. So now he needs to start working toward a fall.
Exactly.
And he's got the time on his side. But
he definitely does. I mean, right now, the way this match goes, a major would probably be a win for Bixby at this point. Bixby's got a 12-0 lead. It's going to be good to see Broken Arrow get on the board. Let's just see where they lay on that. And like I said, this match still isn't over. Miller's got to take a deep step and punch that arm through. He's got to take that, yes, grab that far wrist. There it is.
There we go. This might be it here.
He's got to sink that butt down. There you go. Sink that butt down, pressure on. Blankenship's doing a good job of keeping that shoulder up and fighting for his team. We got 50 seconds, so there's a lot of time here.
Yes, this is the time to just relax and make sure you keep him on his back.
Just settle in here.
Yeah, you don't want him to rotate at all.
No, and he's got to sink back a little bit and get some pressure on that shoulder. Maybe start going toward a half, which is what he's doing right now.
Yeah, ideally you want to be chest to chest in this position, and he gets
There's the fall.
All right.
Good match from Miller. Miller gets the pin. Puts Broken Arrow within one match.
Just like, look how quickly things can change with just one match right there.
Yes. And now we're going to have, he's been injured most of the year, but we have one of Bixby's top wrestlers, Jace Roller. He's going to be going against Kane Miller, which we talked about Kane Miller all season. He's a novice guy, hasn't been wrestling very long, but he's very impressive. He's very strong, he's very athletic. He's running up against the nationally ranked, multiple-time state champ, Jace Roller. Or actually, one time he won it last year. It was Jace Roller, so he's coming up against a formidable opponent. And like Gage Walker, Jace is committed to the University of Missouri. So both those guys will be going to the University of Missouri.
Two future Tigers.
And Missouri's got a great program right now. I think they're ranked number 2 in the country.
And on the women's side, it's Alex Combs versus Aubrey Martinhall at 140. Martinhall 136.6, Combs 138.3.
And we talked about those tournaments that Bixby goes to that's super tough. Jace didn't wrestle in the Ironman due to injury, but did go to Doc B. He got injured and had to forfeit out, got 6th with an injury forfeit at Doc B, which is in California. It's one of their toughest tournaments, not only in the state but in the country.
Looks like right off the bat on the women's mat, Combs is looking for a fall here.
Broken Arrow women do a great job of getting falls. They are very tough once they get you on the mat and get you on your back.
Combs getting back points here, trying to get up the pin.
That looks pretty close there. And Dalton's on the referee and down there. I don't know why he hadn't called it. It looked like a fall to me.
Still looks
That's
like
flat.
a fall.
Looks like Miller's got an injury over here on the boys' mat. Wow, I don't know. I
Man,
thought that was a pin.
That looked like a pin from here.
Yeah.
She picked up 3 for back, but
You always got to joke. I guess it's not late enough in the evening. Usually when you get late toward the evenings, the refs are ready to go home. I guess it's not late enough in the evening for a fall.
how frustrating, all seriousness, so how frustrating that is a wrestler when you feel you got the pin and you're not getting the call.
Oh, man, really you just focus on the next move. At that point, you're just wrestling. And if he calls it, he calls it. If he don't, he don't. You just keep wrestling.
Sure, I guess that's a little less frustrating than feeling like you're not getting pinned and you get pinned.
Now, after the match, if the match doesn't go your way, then you kind of feel like you kind of feel it. But during the match, you don't really feel it as much. So Miller's trying to get up, and he's very scrappy. I mean, he's making Jace work for everything. And
I think every one of our matches that we've called, he's been a scrappy wrestler.
Oh, I'm telling you, I've been so impressed with this Kane Miller. I know I talked to Coach Jones early on in the year at the Broken Arrow tournament, and he wanted me to watch this kid, and I think he took second in that tournament. Super impressed with him. He's very gritty. I mean, and he's learning, so he can only get better.
He's become a sponge from what you've told me, from what Coach Jones has had to talk about him.
And like I said, I see what Coach Jones sees in him because he's definitely got a high, they call it a high ceiling for potential.
Sure. Now, how old is this Kane Miller? Is he?
I don't know what his grade is or what grade. It doesn't say. But I know Rod said this is his first year, which is nuts.
Wow, yeah, that's great.
Jace does a lot of funky moves. He's a pinner. He always looks for those bonus points. But like I said, Kane's fighting here and wrestling real tough. Got to get that elbow down. Kane's got to get that elbow down. He's so flexible in fighting here that he might even get to a point here. With 18 seconds left, that's huge to get an escape. It's a 2-to-1 match here in the first period.
Yeah, Kane Miller, he's doing a great job not spending any time on bottom. He's getting right up to his feet and getting out to wrestle.
Oh, he gets some back points here. So it ends with the takedown and the back points for Roller. So it's going to be a 4-to-1 advantage going into the second period, Miller's choice.
Combs leading 8-0 over Martin Hall.
Looks like she gets a reversal, so she's up now 10-0.
Miller trying to stay low.
Yeah, so Jace is a very tough wrestler on the mat. So, you know, I've been very impressed with Miller and the way he wrestles. He's got to bump him and get him off that ankle. He's got to clear that ankle. If he can't clear that ankle, he's always in danger here. So he's got to clear that ankle.
Another pin for the Lady Tigers. That is Combs. Neither team will have a wrestler
fight there.
At 145 though, and Sophie Donahoe will pick up a win as Bixby doesn't have a wrestler at 155.
So we've got an 8-to-1 score here right now with Roller in the lead. Miller's kind of pressing the pace here. It looks like Roller might have tweaked his knee a little bit on that last exchange. Roller doesn't look 100%.
He's slow to move.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Miller's funky enough to cause something to turn or hit the wrong direction.
$50 seconds to go now. So 45-21 on the girls' side for Broken Arrow as they are taking care of business against the Bixby Spartans. Miller.
So 28 seconds left, 8-to-1 score right now in the second period. Jace Roller over Miller. And if if Miller just keeps wrestling and wrestling hard, he's going to push Roller right now. Roller probably wasn't expecting to wrestle a match this hard, especially coming off an injury. So Miller's just got to keep the pace and keep wrestling hard.
It looks like under that sleeve he's got one of those big braces, for the ACL tear. So
yeah, he's had a pretty bad knee injury. So
sure.
he's
probably affects his gas tank.
Yeah. And what Miller's got to do is just get in wrestling positions. Make Roller expend energy any chance he gets.
He had his legs stretched all the way up.
Yeah. He's got the one for the escape. And he's just got to keep wrestling. He's got to stay on him. I mean, it's a 9-1, but anything can happen here.
Still plenty of time here in this third period.
But he's got to force action. He can't just sit back and sit on a knee and go here, because he's the guy that has to push the pace. He's the guy that's behind, and he can't let Jace catch these breathers right now.
Got to take advantage when you can get him, and he's got to be the aggressor.
No doubt, 100%, man. Jace has got to stay out. If I was a coach, I'd tell Jace to stay out of those over underhooks. If you're going to get into something, get into a over tie or something else, to stay out of the over unders.
Sure, with less
collar
than a minute
ties,
now.
Yeah, collar ties or grabbing wrists if I'm Jace Roller. But if I'm Miller, I'm wanting him to get the over unders or something. Your chance of winning is going to have to come with the pin here, because you're down 8 points.
Time is definitely playing a factor in this one.
And he really needs to push it here, because if he can even get a takedown, he can get it to just a regular decision instead of a major decision here.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Jace goes right into a cradle immediately off that takedown. 20 seconds left. He's got to fight here. 11-1 advantage, Jace Roller. Duel is 12-6. Bixby 12, Broken Arrow 6.
Yep, looks like Roller's going to secure it 11-1 here. But that's very impressive from Miller, being a first-year wrestler. I'm excited to keep up with him for these next couple of years.
He's tough, super tough.
I know he's unhappy about that, but still.
No, that was a good match on his part. He's a tough kid. He's only going to get better. Cadence Roop for Broken Arrow. Cadence Roop's going to go against Novasad for Bixby. So
Rise Novasad.
Roop will be the favorite here in this one for BA. Bixby's got a 16-6 advantage.
And Ford for the Lady Spartans picked up a pin.
What is that duel? It looks like BA's 45, Bixby is 21 for the ladies duel down there. 45-21. Roop's got to get Broken Arrow back on the, back on the winning side. So far, Miller's the only one that's picked up any points for him with the fall. So we need Roop to, get Broken Arrow back on track.
Yes, Spartans are leading at 16-6.
And actually, I'll tell you what, this is actually Thane Hausler. So they bumped Hausler. So this is Hausler actually for Bixby.
I see.
I was looking at him. I was like, this is Hausler. So this is Hausler for Bixby. So they bumped him up to this weight.
Yeah, I was wondering if they had anything up their sleeves with weighing two people in at 144, and that's it.
I didn't know until I started looking at it. I said, well, that's Hausler. And then I started looking at the chart, and I was like, yep.
Now, Roop needs to keep rotating it over, and he can get
Roop needs to get that left arm. He's doing good. Push that leg down. He needs to push that leg down and get that left arm and keep pushing in. Now, in the difference here in college, so if we're in college, there's a danger. If he's at a 45, they can start counting right now. And if you count to 4, that guy's awarded the takedown. But in high school, that's not the case. So this guy can hold on as long until they get a stalemate right there. So Broken Arrow should be, favored pretty good here because, they bumped up, which Hausler's a tough wrestler. They bumped up and Roop is one of Broken Arrow's senior leaders, returning state qualifier, had an injury, kind of keep him from getting on the podium last year.
So after one, it's still scoreless.
Hausler's going to choose down.
Roop has battled injuries this year as well.
Yeah, Roop's tough kid. He's got a lot of upside. I feel like if some school picks him up, he's going to do real good for him.
Good wrestling on bottom.
First point.
And I think he might be going to Ottawa that I know of. I'm not sure, but whoever he goes to, like I said, they're getting a good wrestler.
Well, signing day will be right around the corner.
Yes.
We'll find out where a lot of these Tigers will be headed.
They've already had their early signing, I believe, in November. Roop's got to do he's done a good job. It looks like Roop's pretty comfortable here in this wizard, kind of getting here. Hausler's got to suck him on the mat, try to get the angle and get that far ankle. But Roop's pretty safe here. So good job by both wrestlers. We got 1 minute and 4 seconds in this second period. Hausler's got the 1-0 with the escape. He's got the 1-0 lead right now. Isaiah, Dan, we talked about this earlier. Someone's got to get an advantage here. You've got to fake, move, motion, get the angle here in order to get the advantage. None of these guys have done that so far. They're kind of going straight forward. They've got to look to get the angle.
And our final match for the Lady Tigers, Jade McKinney.
Good shot by Roop. Roop's got to go to 2 takedowns for Roop. Good job with 25 seconds left. He's got to be careful. They've awarded the takedown, so he's got to be careful. Roop can't lock his hands here, but Luke could split those legs and look for a Turk.
Yeah, sure. There's a point that you want to, he's called to give the takedown up, worry about not getting on your back and work up to an escape.
No doubt. So now it's going to be Roop's choice. He's up 2-1. He's going to choose down.
Hausler, he's got a nice switch. I think just about every time I've seen him on bottom, he's had a very effective switch.
Oh, yeah. Those guys with the leverage, they can extend those hips out on that switch, and it's hard to hold on to you.
Now we're in period 3, and on the final ladies match, it's Jade McKinney versus Brooklyn Lathan.
Guys, we talked about this earlier, too. Bixby is very tough on top. They're tough on the mat. They're very tough on top. Broken Arrow's shown all year. They've well improved mat wrestling. Their mat wrestling has been really good this year. So it's going to come down to the mat here for Bixby. They're going to try for the turn. I don't know at what point. Clock's still running. I don't know if they've seen that, but I don't know at what point. And there's Coach Roller right there. He's telling them.
Right now.
It did. About 2 or 3 seconds ran off that clock. But at some point, when are they going to abandon the trying to tilt and going into cutting them down for a takedown? That's a decision Bixby's going to have to look at. Because right now, I don't know if Roop's savvy enough not to get turned.
It looks like they're counting, yep.
I say that, and Hausler gets the turn.
He's got to go now and let it fly.
So now Hausler's got a 3-2 advantage. Foot and mount. As soon as I say that, Bixby gets the turn. There's the stall right there.
Yeah, ref doing a great job, today as far as calling those stalls when he needs to call the stalls. And if there's no, forward motion in the wrestling, he's calling that stalemate and getting them going again.
Well, Briscoe does a good job. He's reffed on every level, like we said. I'm impressed with how he can kind of, because some of these guys don't transition from one level to the next. And they come down to high school and they're too quick to call a stall, or they go up to college and they don't call it. He's good on both, so I'm very impressed with it. 52 seconds left. Roop's got 52 seconds to get away. Hauser with that turn has got the advantage, 3-2.
He's going to have to hurry quickly.
Hauser's doing a good job of isolating wrist.
Good. I think that was a good, smart move, letting go of that leg and just getting your one, so you at least take it to overtime.
And on the shot, he's kind of felt like he could take him down. He felt something in that last takedown, and I think that's where he's kind of thought. He felt like he could get the takedown. Now Hauser's going to bunch him up and try to keep him crowded here. Coaches are trying to point out a fall here. There's a takedown for
And
Roop.
again, that switch.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea to cut him if you feel like you're getting there. There's 3 seconds left.
Sure. Looks like he secures the win. Some good wrestling going on there.
Unbelievable in the final seconds.
So, one of our best matches so far is one of Bixby's guys bumps up, wrestles real tough. Roop guts it out for his team, pulls out the victory. Isaiah pointed it out. I love it where he's like, hey, I feel that I can take him down. I'm just going to go ahead and cut him and go to my takedown, which is what he did, and he got it. So, good match for Cadence Roop. So now here we are at 157. We're going to have Ishmael Guerrero of Broken Arrow, and he is going to be going against, trying to see if
looks like Man.
Is that Man? We got Matthew Mann and Dylan Franklin. So Ishmael's another one of Bixby's top wrestlers. He's had a good season so far. Ish has actually took, we talk about some of the premier national tournaments. He took sixth at the Ironman tournament. Doc B, he plays second.
That's out in California.
One of their top, out in California. He's one of their top wrestlers. He's committed to wrestle at the Oklahoma State University. So very excited to see him go on in the next level. He's just got the first takedown.
Now we have Man or Franklin out?
We hadn't decided yet. They hadn't said if this is Franklin or Man. But looks like he's got the escape. We should say it next with whether this is Franklin or Man.
We'll listen for the PA announcer here.
There we are. We have Man on the mat.
Okay, so it was Man, Dan, like you thought. So
I thought it was, but
so Matthew Mann for Broken Arrow. They did get the separation. He's got 1 point, so it's 2-1. They haven't put it on the board yet, but it's 2-1 over Ishmael Guerrero. And we've got a 16-9 duel score. So this duel, it looks like Bixby's been dominant, but it's actually a fairly close duel so far.
Absolutely.
There's a shot, takedown.
Screaming in the background is apparent for
so
the
if I was Broken
matches.
Arrow, I'd talk to him about it should be 4. They put it on there. So going into the second period, Ish is up 4-1. So it's going to be Bixby's. It's going to be Bixby's choice. Or is that BA's? So Man's choosing down in the second period. Ishmael Guerrero has a 4-1 advantage. Ishmael is an extremely tough wrestler on top. He likes the cheat tilts. He likes the bar arm. He'll throw in a leg. Very active on top. So Man's got to keep moving to prevent any kind of pinning moves or any kind of moves to his back. And Ishmael's got to do the exact opposite. He's got to keep staying busy on top.
And the girls are a winner over...
Girls 45-27, I believe, Dan.
45-27.
Broken Arrow comes away with the victory over a very tough Bixby.
Latheran got the last match, though, against Jade McKinney, but it didn't result in an overall victory. Broken Arrow as a winner.
And like I said, Bixby's a very tough program in the boys and the girls, so that's a good win for Broken Arrow. Got a minute 15 here in the second period. Ishmael Guerrero on top of the crossbody ride.
I'm loving to see, the Broken Arrow program growing as well. When I left Broken Arrow, we didn't have a women's program, and I mean, they're wrestling really well. They're looking really great. The head coach is doing a fantastic job over there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm a lot older. I was in the '97 in Broken Arrow. It's even getting bigger, and then it even evolved after you left, and now these guys are going to see the next line when they get that new facility built over there. Me and Dan have talked about it several times. It's unbelievable, and it's kind of a wrestling gymnastics only type facility.
One of the best in the country right here in Broken Arrow.
Awesome.
So they might call danger on this in a little bit if it doesn't get back to the mat. Oh, he calls stalling here. Calls stalling on the top guy, it looks like.
It looks like both of those feet from the top man are off the mat, so.
Yeah, I was thinking they might call this any time, but Ish is doing a good job of isolating that leg, keeping the hips in and cross-bodying. He's going to try to pull that arm and isolate that arm back. Got 18 seconds left in the second period. It's a 4-1 lead right now for Ishmael Guerrero over Man of Broken Arrow.
One thing Man has to do here is you can't score any points off of your belly, so he's got to do something to get back on those knees, form a base, and work on a stand-up here.
Yep.
And we'll go to period 3 now.
It'll be Guerrero's choice. Guerrero's choose down. Man staying behind the hips, barring the arm. He's flankering on the inside. He's staying busy.
Well, you were talking about Ish. I mean, in the fact that he's going to be a future Cowboy, he knows what he's doing on this mat.
I think Man's wrestling a good match. Like I said, Ishmael's one of the top guys, not just in the state, but in the nation. Very tough wrestler. He's got to get off his belly. Man's doing a good job at keeping him there, flanking there. Switch, and now he throws in a double flanker here. He's going to stretch him out.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this match, being flat is not where you want to be. So, Man is in a very good position here to score some back points.
No doubt. And he's done a good job of isolating. Now he's getting too high. What Ish has got to do is get that right arm out and swim.
Which looks like he's doing just that.
Yep.
In reversal.
He got too high. You got to stay on the hips when you're riding. Just like you saw Ish in the second period. He did a good job of staying over and on the hips. As soon as you get past those hips and get too high, you get reversed. So, Man's wrestled a good match, but it's just little minor mistakes like that can cost you a win.
Man trailing 6-1 here.
Yep, Ish has got a 6-1 advantage. 33 seconds left into this period. And it's a 16-9 lead for Bixby in the duel.
He's fighting for an escape here, but he's going to have to work real quick.
Yeah, right now with 17 seconds, you just don't need to do anything to give up any back points if you're Man. You just want to keep it at a decision instead of because if you give up back points right now, you could give up a major here. So he needs to kind of keep it. Ish did a good job of isolating that arm, but then he took it straight. If you take it to the side, he won't stop that. And Briscoe thought he kind of took it straight over, so he stopped it. Got a caution. It's okay. You get three. Actually, you get 2 freebies. In the last one, they give you a point if you do a third. So.
Man's just trying to avoid any back points at the end.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's a 6-1 decision for Guerrero.
So 6-1 win for Ishmael Guerrero. And that puts Bixby up 19-9. And we're going to have Colton Kaiser. So Colton Kaiser is going to be coming out for Bixby. I know they've got another guy that weighed in, Clay Giddens. He's nationally ranked, actually committed to University of Oklahoma. They might be bumping him up to the next weight. So, but right now this is Colton Kaiser. He's wrestling for Bixby. He's going to be wrestling against, looks like, is that Hankins out there?
I believe that's Hankins.
Yeah, looks like Hankins. Looks like Hankins got a haircut since last time. Looks like he cut his hair.
New shoes.
He's going my style. These guys are hand fighting, looking for position.
Now we knew, Bixby was going to be a talented crew coming in tonight. Are you happy where Broken Arrow's sitting right now in the points?
I'd like to have seen them, win the matches they were supposed to win. Still plenty of wrestling, but they had to kind of make a little more happen, I think, because they're Bixby's pretty tough in that last little area of their lineup too. But so far, they could wrestle tougher, but who's always 100% satisfied,
Paige, how much has the program changed just in what you've seen tonight?
It has not very, there's some new things here and there. I see new wrestling mats. We have a girls club now, but the guys are wrestling tough. Looks like they're proud to be wearing that Tiger singlet. It's very nostalgic. It feels just about how it was when I left.
And I think, there's some guys on both sides that you can tell are probably a little nicked up. You look at this far in the season, there's some guys that are wrestling through some injuries. So some guys are probably not 100%. And I know them at their best, so sometimes I might be a little overcritical of some of these guys. But
that's a competitor in you.
Yeah, there's always something to work on. But Bixby's a tough program. They're ranked nationally. They've got 4 or 5 D1 guys on their team right now. So we knew this wasn't going to be easy for Broken Arrow, but Broken Arrow's going to continue to scrap. They've got 12 seconds here. He's got to stay off his back, keep from getting pinned here. Because, to be honest, their better wrestler at 65 is going to probably bump up to 75, which is Giddens.
And he gets the fall.
That's something you can't have happen to you if you're wrestling. Is the falls. The falls are what hurts you when you're in the duels. You give up the decisions, majors, whatever. Just the falls are what really hurt.
One thing that seems new to me here tonight is I'm seeing a lot of leg riding. Maybe that's the new trend. That's the way that kids are wrestling nowadays.
Looks like Broken Arrows. They might have wrestled Valletta and moved Hankins because this is not Stitchcomb. But they did bump Giddens here for Bixby. So Bixby's Giddens bumped, and looks like they might bump Stitchcomb from Broken Arrow. I'm not sure yet, but that's not Stitchcomb wrestling for Broken Arrow.
I'm going to have to listen for the PA announcer.
There's a takedown for Giddens, and Giddens one of those guys. Giddens one of those kids that's a nationally ranked kid, committed to the University of Oklahoma. Ironman tournament, like we said, he took 6 at the Ironman. He took.
Now they just said Hankins.
Yep, he took 5th at the.
So this is Darren Hankins and Clay Giddens. Go on.
So Hankins bumped up, but she's got a fight here. So that last one was Valletta. They bumped Hankins up here.
Wow, and 2 falls in a row. They're looking great. Bixby is in those upper weights here.
See, this is what I was afraid of, Dan, when we talked about it. Broken Arrow needed to kind of win those 50-50 or those matches I thought could win and win by a little bit more than they did because we're getting into the meat of their lineup. So it looks like they didn't wrestle Stitchcomb. He might be hurt still or something. I know he's had some issues with his thumb. So now we're here at 190.
Hank Puckett.
Looks like we're going to have Braden Jones, and he's going to be wrestling Hank Puckett. Hank Puckett's one of their better wrestlers.
Puckett, a 2-sport athlete, also plays football.
Amazing on the football field and the wrestling as well. So.
And now it looks like Bixby has this one in the bag as far as team points, but you still got to wrestle with pride and wrestle for yourself and get out there and win some wrestling matches.
And here's another thing that you don't look at. These guys are going to be, this is probably the last time they'll see Bixby before they see the regionals individually. So not only is this a big thing for you individually, I mean, you're working for your team, but you're also working individually. So if you get a win here, you can get a higher seed, and that helps you in a regional tournament because both these teams are in the East.
Certainly.
But Jones has been wrestling tough. I know, Dan, we watched him last and been impressed with the way he's wrestled this year.
He's definitely grown up on the mat this season from what we've been able to see. The difference here, though, is he's given up almost 10 pounds to Puckett.
Yeah, Puckett's he's a hoss, but you know what? He's right in the hand fight, and what he can do is use his leverage. But he's just got to stay here, stay in the hand fight, keep the match within striking distance, stay out of those underhooks. That's where he's going to lose the muscle battle is the underhooks. Stay to the wrist, stay to the collar ties, stick to that.
Paige, when you wrestled and you had a guy that, obviously had more weight than you, how much of a difference was that for you when you were on the mat?
Sure, it's a huge difference, and kind of like Forbes was saying, you have to not let him use that weight to his advantage. You want to stay out. You want to try to outquick him. The freshman year, I was a 170-pounder, and they had me bulk up and wrestle 220 pounds in the matter of a few weeks.
Yeah,
I felt it for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's where your quickness would help out, but also, like you said, they get a hold of you. You can't be so quick when they get a hold of you.
Sure.
Puckett did a good job there.
With that takedown.
Got a takedown. He's up 2-0 with 12 seconds left in this first period. Jones has got to do a good job of at least get a point back before the end of this period. Try to get some points back.
What's a better feeling for you two, takedown or a pin?
Well, I wasn't a big pinner. I was a takedown guy. I'd love to get pins. I was a takedown guy.
Sure. For me, there's nothing better than feeling the crowd go crazy once you get that pin, especially in a tight match.
No doubt. I mean, you can't beat it. I just didn't do it as much as I wanted to.
Sure.
I was a takedown guy too. Before we end this whole thing, I do want to give a shout out to Emma Hines down there. We talked to her earlier. She's one of the best trainers over there for BA. She does a good job. The Hines families,
they do a lot for this program.
Oh yeah, her dad was on the coaching staff last year. Her sister was one of the first female wrestlers to wrestle on the boys team as a varsity, and they're both doing really good in college level. Ooh, that's close. They gave it. Good job. So Jones get the escape. So 2-1 here.
Right on the edge right there.
He did a good job of getting his hips away. So he's got the 2-1. He's in this thing. He's just got to keep wrestling.
Heavy hands from Bixby.
No doubt. Puckett's got some heavy, heavy hands. And Isaiah, because you wrestle the guys that you're guys that got tree trunk legs like Puckett's got right here. You've got to get the angles. You've got to you can't go straight on. You're not going to get anything fighting those hips like that.
Absolutely.
It's got to be more of a finesse style of wrestling.
It does, for sure. They still haven't put the point up for Jones, but it should be 2-1. Puckett with the advantage.
We've got it on ours, but they're on the main scoreboard here in the field house. They're still minus a point.
Jones is doing a good job of keeping pressure on the head. Keep the elbow down. Good job. He circled, elbow down, circle to your right. Circle away from that. Got 50 seconds here in the second period. Puckett will get the choice in the third period.
He's just so stocky from top to bottom.
No doubt. Very powerful.
And you can tell he's a football player with some of these stances he's got out here.
Yeah, and I think Bixby's football team's all right from what I've heard.
Yeah, from what I hear.
I don't know how many have they won in a row. It's ridiculous. I think
it's 4 now, 4 or 5. Might be 6 if you go back to 6-8-2.
Well, I think just their win streak's unbelievable. They've had I can't even count how many wins in a row they've had, but they're a dominant program. I think it's Coach Christensen. Is that who?
Coach Lauren Montgomery.
Lauren Montgomery. That's
yes.
what. Lauren Montgomery.
Ooh, and poor shot here. He might pay for it.
Oh, no time on there. Yeah, you definitely got to pick your spots when you're wrestling those bigger guys.
Oh, yeah.
We have blood time here or just?
I'm not sure what they're calling that. No, whoa. It should be 2-1. How did they get 3?
Surely that's an error.
Should be 2-1.
Yeah, they've yet to put Jones.
They had him give it to the other team. It should be 2-1.
We have it right, though. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it should be 2-1. I don't know who's keeping an eye on that. Usually you got a guy on staff. Broken Arrow's got plenty of people. You need to have a guy on staff saying, hey, let's keep track of.
Yeah, because, we're discussing this, but as a wrestler, I mean, you do pay attention to that up there, too, to see what you got to do to gain back in the match.
Yeah.
Our junior high on top, 37-18 over Bixby as well.
You know, I'll say Broken Arrow has got a very strong feeder program, and it starts with the youth, and it goes to the junior high. And the junior high, you came through all those programs. The junior high is extremely talented with Broken Arrow. They always have some real tough wrestlers that feed into the high school.
We'd also like to thank our One Club sponsors, First National Bank of Broken Arrow, Cincinnati St. John, Tulsa Bone and Joint, TTCU Federal Credit Union, Matthews Ford, the Arrow Group, and Quick Trip as well.
Yeah, Jones shows down, so Jones, it should be 4-1 here, or 3-1, sorry.
3-1,
yeah,
yes.
It should be 3-1. I'm not sure why no one's catching this, but they're on their feet. 3-1, I'm not sure. I mean, it makes every difference. Jones gets a takedown, we're tied.
Down to a minute.
Good shot here, but he's got a good reshot by Puckett.
This is a little strange. They have not updated that scoreboard here in the arena, though.
No.
Is there a chance that maybe the three of us are wrong?
Well, that's what I'm saying, but he chose down that period, so I don't see how. And he was the one that was on bottom that got the escape here in the corner, on the edge here. I think Shane, Coach Roller, probably pulled a fast one on him. You got to watch Roller. You got to watch him a little bit. He's tricky. Keep wrestling here. They got 35 seconds here. 35 seconds left in the match. Puckett's got they're showing 4-0, but I've got 3-1 lead here. And that's, as a coach, you want to get that fixed because your wrestler's thinking, hey, I'm down 4-0.
Right.
You know?
We'll see here if that incorrect score matters. We have 10 seconds for Jones to go ahead and let it fly to tie it up, 3-3.
Yeah, he's got to try something here. Good shot, but Puckett, you know, you're fighting those hips, man. Those hips are hard to get by. You can't go straight on when you got a guy with hips like that. You've got to get the angle here somehow.
Absolutely.
Puckett
Should be 5-1 as the final. Should be.
Yeah, and Puckett gets the lead, or gets the win, and puts Bixby 34-9. And we're going to have Justin Kirk. Justin Kirk's going to be wrestling at 2:15. He'll be wrestling. Looks like he's going to be wrestling.
Gunnar Wilson.
No, Gunner's going to probably bump. This looks like this might be Mauricio Laura. So Mauricio Laura. And he'll be wrestling Justin Kirk.
I think this is the first time we've called Mauricio's match.
It is. And Kirk, I wrestled with his dad, Jimmy Kirk. Jimmy Kirk's a good guy, and his son's one of those other, super tough kid. I think he's played football for him and stuff. He's a powerful wrestler, so.
It's really amazing, Forbes. It seems like you've wrestled with just about everybody's brother, son, uncle.
I've been around, I'll tell you that.
I love that.
Got some miles on me.
He says when we get that new arena, he's going to take me on the mat and show me a thing or two.
Man, I might break a leg doing that. You might tear me up, Dan. Me and Isaiah rolled around before. Isaiah's a powerful, tough kid, man. I loved wrestling with him.
Yeah, it was good times. I don't know if I've ever gotten you, but
hey,
I sure let it fly.
I lucked out. I waited till you were tired.
Mauricio giving
Looks
up
like another takedown here for, well, not yet. He's got that leg, but he's on his belly. He's got to get off his belly. Another takedown by Kirk.
So 4-1 advantage now.
4-1 advantage. We got 39 seconds into this first period.
Yeah, Chris, that's a big thing that you just mentioned. For one, I mean, you're in such a dangerous position being on your belly. It's a lot easier to get exposed. Beyond that, yeah, you can't score points on your belly. You got to get up.
Yep, that's one of the worst positions you can be as a wrestler, is on your belly. As a coach, it kind of frustrates you more than anything. It's like, get off your belly.
Sure,
so,
if anything.
Yeah. So 4-1 advantage. It looks like Kirk's going to take that into the second period. I'm not sure whose choice it is this match, but we'll find out soon.
So we're going to go to period 2.
So looks like Bixby's choice here. They're deferring. Mauricio's going to choose down. And I think that's kind of why Bixby deferred. They wanted Broken Arrow to choose down so he could kind of get on top and see if he could go for the fall.
Just bulldozed him right there.
Mauricio's got to do it. He's got to keep active, get that arm back.
Mauricio will go down again.
He's got to keep that arm at a 90. Kurt does. If not, if that arm roses past the 90, they'll stop the mat for potentially dangerous. He's doing a good job riding it. Mauricio's doing a good job fighting, but he's in danger here. He's in a lot of trouble. He needs to get his arm through. Another fall.
If you're surprised with all these falls throughout the course of this night?
I am a little bit. I'm a little bit, but this is probably going to be this will be a pretty good match here. I think Gunnar has the advantage. Gunnar has the advantage, even bumping up. But Garrett Ritter's a real tough wrestler here. So we've got Gunnar Wilson for Broken Arrow. He's bumping up to heavyweight. He's going to go against Garrett Ritter of Bixby.
And Gunnar giving up about 50 pounds or so.
Yeah, Gunnar athletically, he's going to be the better. He's going to be the more advantaged wrestler here. But Garrett Ritter is a tough wrestler. He's been around for a long time and very tough.
There's just something about the heavyweight wrestlers. It's just fascinating to watch.
Yeah. Well, anymore if you go to it used to be like big, not the same, big belly, big body.
Right.
These guys are some of the most athletic guys on the team now. The heavyweights are just tremendously athletic. Good shot, just like there with Gunnar Wilson.
Like where you're talking
amazing
about.
Shot, and both these guys can wrestle. So Wilson gets out to a fast start, and really he needs to. Broken Arrow needs to close this duel with some wins here.
Oh, sure. I guess I almost forgot that we didn't start off with 106, so we still have a a wrestling.
We still got some wrestling going, so we'll end it. So we'll have this match, and we'll have two more after it because we'll end at 113. So Lazzarini will be the one to end it here for Broken Arrow. And I think those last two matches, Broken Arrow should be favored, as well as this one. So if they could win all three of these matches, it should be good. I mean, not good because they gave up the falls, but at least they can end on a good note and give something Coach Jones can kind of give them the good with the bad.
Yeah, and he's got to be careful of that arm not crossing the 90.
Yes. And what he needs to do right now is kind of keep that arm pinned, which you got it loose. Come under that shoulder and that throat like he's doing and tilt him back. But that arm got. Now he needs to get his knee and kind of block it with his knee.
Sure, and at this point, he kind of wants to try to make a move to, get him on his back. But a big thing is kind of having mat awareness and knowing how much time you have, because when you get that arm behind the back, and you have 30 seconds, you want to take your time and not let go of that.
Exactly. It's not getting in a hurry. This will be interesting here, Gunner's going down here, and, Ritter's the much bigger wrestler, so he's got to get up. He can't sit on bottom because he could be in danger here. He's calling timeout. Something's happened. Yes. That's the worry when you got a much bigger guy on top of you. You got to be careful. Maybe he's got a cramp or something. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Well, as soon as they started, he started putting up his hand like, hey, I need a timeout.
Well, here's the difference you look at here. And college, you do that, now that guy's got choice. So you don't have that in high school, so it's a little bit you know, if you are hurt or something hurts, you can get that kind of. In college, you got to wrestle through it. If not, that guy's got choice now, and he can choose down.
I don't know if he tweaked his knee or.
It looked like it was kind of maybe he had a cramp or something there. I'm glad it's nothing serious.
It's scary in some aspects.
Oh, no doubt, especially when you're going toward your knee.
When you got a guy that's 60 pounds heavier than you.
And he's escaped, so he gets the escape. He's up 3-0. And Gunner, he's been in the lived in there. He's actually a transfer from Catoosa, and he was a state champ. I think he's a multiple-time state champ from Catoosa, and Catoosa is I believe 4A. So they're 4A. Yeah, Catoosa's 4A, and he's bumped up to 6A. It's going to be interesting and be fun to see him and how he does in 6A. He's an extremely tough wrestler. There's another shot. Good hips by Ritter. He's got to make sure that you're getting the angles against someone like it has this weight advantage. You don't want to get caught with anything and put on your back.
Yeah, it's about the only way, it seems like,
No doubt.
creating those angles and shooting outside.
100%.
It's the tricky thing on bottom as well. As the little guy, I mean, you have to get up right off that whistle, because if he gets you flat and gets those hips on top, man, it's really hard to get out
No
of there.
doubt. That's what I was kind of worried about when he chose down, but he did get away after that restart pretty quick. But you're right. I mean, there's certain positions where he can use his weight advantage, and those are one of them.
What's the most weight either one of you wrestled somebody that was overweighing you?
Isaiah's probably had to deal with a lot more than me, because I was wrestling 119, 126, and those guys are all around the same weight. I was pulling weight. They were pulling weight.
Sure, I would say, well, in practice, the Jones brothers will put me up against the heavyweight, so maybe 80, 90 pounds, but in real life scenario, maybe 25, 30 pounds.
But even at that 25, I mean, there's a difference there.
Probably when Isaiah wrestled me in practice is probably when he had the big weight difference.
Sure, yeah.
I was the big guy.
I was going to let you make that joke.
Yeah. You got to use something. You got to use weight advantage.
And you guys were both saying that we need to get back some matches here with only 3 to the remainder of this and 2 more to go.
I think we can. I think these last 3 matches will be favored. I'd like to see some bonus here. I don't know if we'll get it this match, but I'd like to see him on the others. He's got to stay out of the ties. As soon as he got to that tie, he's got to back away. He's got to stay out of the ties.
They both look very tired at this point.
They do, and that's something that you deal with, and Isaiah can attest to this, is dealing with that extra weight wears you down. By the third period, you're pretty tired.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting thing, because the smaller guy is getting tired from all of the weight, and then at the same time, that big guy is not used to having to move quick.
That's true. That's something you don't think about. They both kind of have to deal with that. That's a good point. So we got 1:09 here. We've got a 3-0 advantage by Gunnar Wilson. We've got a 40-9 dual score here. Good job by Gunnar to keep moving, because if he would have sit for a little bit, he might have been in some danger.
Could have been a takedown, could have been a
some
pin.
danger. Could have went to his back. Now he just needs to kind of keep him on top, keep that pressure, keep him on his belly.
Now with that, he's got a 5-0 advantage.
And I love it. The women, after they had their amazing duel and had a good victory,
they're still
they're
here.
sitting here watching the guys and cheering them on. So I love it.
And I guarantee if it was the opposite, the boys would be standing watching the ladies.
They better. They better. Gets a reverse here.
Now stay in your belly in this situation.
Yeah, you don't have a caution. You have a stall. Just stay here. Don't give anything up. Just get the win.
That's exactly what he did.
Yep. So
that was
get
a fun one to
3-point
watch.
victory. Yes. Oh yeah, those guys were going at it. So it was a good one. So Broken Arrow 12, Bixby 40. Like we talked about earlier, Bixby's got this duel wrapped up, but Broken Arrow's trying to get some pride here and get some W's on the board. They'll be favored here in this one as well. This is Rudy Rojas of Broken Arrow going against Caleb Crawford of Bixby.
Two very quick.
Well, you'll see
wrestlers.
you'll see a contrast. The little guys are a little wiry and running all over the place, and you would say normally the big guys are slower in pace, but those guys were actually going at it.
They can move.
Yeah, they were going at it. Rojas needs a fall here. Very tough on top.
Yeah, and you saw, I mean, before he even got that too, he was going for the neck and a thigh straight off the whistle.
Good job looking for some more points here on top for Rojas.
Already down
there
to a minute.
Got that bar arm. Yep, got a minute in this first period. He's got that bar arm. He's got to stick with that bar arm, kind of look for a little tilt, get some points. Throwing in the legs. Now he's going to go for the power half.
You know, normally when these guys, 106 would start it out, when you're having to wait the whole night, does that cause any difference for you?
It does a little bit, because those guys are used to getting it done and over with right off the bat. They're not used to being the last few guys to go. So it's different. But they call potentially dangerous here at one point. I'm not sure if he maybe I don't know if he body locked. I didn't know what he did there. I didn't look. I turned away, so I apologize. But did you see it?
I did
Dan,
not
Isaiah,
see it.
Did you see it?
I was.
But yeah, they're a little off because they're used to being the first match.
Yeah, and you know, whenever you're able to wrestle first, you know, you're able to cheer on your teammates and kind of let your emotions be in the match, but that can really affect your headspace.
No doubt.
You know, if you get into that too soon before it's, you know, you wrestle, you get your mind on the match, you wrestle, and then you support your team.
That's a good point. You know, some of these guys could just be wore down from nerves because they're going nerves all, 13, 14 matches before they come up. So
2 points by Crawford, so now it's 3-2. That'll end period one.
So Crawford ends with a reverse. Was it a reverse or was it?
It was a reverse.
Yeah. How do we have? Oh, they got the potential danger, so it's 3-2. That's right. So he's got the lead here. He really, Rojas has been dominant probably 1 minute and 55 seconds, but then the other 5 seconds turned around and Crawford's got the reversal. So good job for Crawford. He chose down in the second period, and Rojas is on top, and he's got that bar arm. He's got to use it. He's going for another reversal. If I'm Rojas at this point, I'm fighting here to try to not give up two. Mm-hmm. Good job by Rojas. Get it to your feet. Give up one, not two. Oh, he did it.
How dirty. How dirty.
Wow.
We'll see if he can get the fall here.
He should be looking. They're telling him need to look down. There's a lot of time here. Rojas has this locked up tight.
Looks flat.
There he is.
Yeah, good move by Rojas. Needed. That was nice. And Crawford was wrestling a great match too up until then. He wrestled his butt off, so that was a good match on both ends. But Rojas took that match back with that gator roll.
And I didn't see that coming either. A lot of times you could tell it's coming, but you don't see it
in folk style a lot. You see it in freestyle a lot more. There was a guy that wrestled for Adam State. His name was Barreras that had an amazing gator roll. He actually hit it on Cody Sanderson one time at the Iowa State Open to beat him, which is Kel's brother. So he was real good with it. Wrestled at Central Oklahoma for a little bit too in Adam State.
It's just fascinating how you can just rotate it that quickly, too.
No doubt. So here's our last match of the day. So it's a 113-pound match. Bradley Lazzarini and who we got, Dan, for Bixby?
Keller Roach. 114-2 to Lazzarini's 113-8.
And you can see Roach has got a bigger frame. They're both kind of a lanky kids, but you know, Roach has got a bigger frame here. But Lazzarini's scrappy. We've got to commentate him on several of his matches, and he's extremely scrappy. I love watching him wrestle.
It's his length that has helped him in a lot of matches.
No doubt. Now, he don't have the advantage in this one. This one looks like Roach has got the length advantage. We'll see who's got the heart advantage, though. And the dual score, Broken Arrow 18, Bixby 40. And this would be the last of the three that we said that we would want Broken Arrow to get a win in.
So far, we've gone 2 for 2.
Yep, 2 for 2. Then hopefully they end on this third one. Roach is in on a good shot. What Lazzarini needs to do is do the crossface. He's going to the ankles right now. He needed to get his hips back and go to the crossface. Now what he can do is get his hips up, get his head high and get his hips up. And keep pressing in. Looks like this is going to be a stalemate right here.
I'm sure you've heard it all your life as well, Forbes, but highest hips wins.
Yeah, well, high head wins. High head wins. Exactly.
And it was a stalemate, like you said.
Yeah, that's the best scenario there for both those guys once it got to that point and they both got the ankles.
17 seconds left here in the first.
And both these guys are scrappy, so we'll see. I can't remember whose choice it is, so we'll see. That was a good shot and good drag by counter drag by Lazzarini.
No points here in the first, but it's going to pick up here in the second.
Was chose down. Bixby's extremely tough on top, so he's got to fight hands and get to his feet. I always say you're in danger when you're on bottom, so you've got to make sure that you're getting up and away. Good job by Lazzarini getting to his feet. He's got to keep doing that.
As soon as that whistle blows, he's racing to his feet every time.
Yeah, you have to give away that too to not expose any back points there.
Yeah. And Lazzarini did a good job. And he's a tough, scrappy wrestler on the mat, so it shows right there with that reversal. So he's up 2-0 right now. He's going for that cradle right now. He's got to bump that hip, set him down, put the knee to the side. He's got plenty of time. We talked about it earlier, Isaiah. You just don't get in a hurry. You know, don't rush it at this point. Make sure everything's good. Get your points, work for the pin.
He's going to get some back points there.
He's got his back points. He's got his.
You know, these guys are entertaining. They're working on their offense. They're taking shots. They're letting it fly.
No doubt. They're definitely competing here. Looks like Lazzarini's going for some more back here. Roach is doing a good job of fighting it here. Now he needs to go to that turret.
Down to 30.
So we got 30 seconds here in the second period. It'll be an interesting call on what Bixby's going to do on the third. They might choose neutral because right now he's getting controlled on the mat. If I was Bixby, I'd probably choose neutral.
I think that's a smart choice as a coach.
Yeah. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd go back underneath Lazzarini.
He's got that arm again and an arm bar.
Yep, he's looking for a cheap tilt here to get some more points. He's got to get that bottom leg. That leg's over the top. He messed up. He's got to catch that bottom leg. When you do that tilt, you've got to catch his momentum, catch the bottom leg. What he did is he had that leg over the top and allowed Roach to roll through.
You know, third period here, if I were Lazzarini, I would want to put an exclamation mark at the end.
No doubt. He needs to get some bonus for
Absolutely.
Broken Arrow. Try to get as much as he can. Like we discussed, he did choose neutral. I agree with that call. If I'm Bixby, I'm not going underneath Lazzarini.
Exclamation.
You were talking about a referee earlier, old school referee clapping his hands. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah.
Stop stalling here.
Hey, the falls might come a little faster right now. That was a good little move by Lazzarini. He kind of trapped him, almost got him in the
If he would have
spoidle.
been more, that spoidle would have worked better if he was in the center.
Yeah. They've been so active, it looks like Briscoe's not calling the stall there because he knew it was kind of just a push him off the mat. So
absolutely. And there he
Nice
goes,
headlock.
looking for those extra points.
He's got to settle his hip to the mat. There it is.
That was beautiful.
So looks like the final is going to be 24-40. So Broken Arrow 24, Bixby 40.
So we finish it off with a win here inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. The women taking care of business tonight over Bixby, 45-27. For the boys, they fall 40-24, but they picked up a pin in the final match. Final thoughts from the both of you on tonight. We'll start with you, Chris.
I thought, like we talked about, they had some spots where they could have wrestled better, but I thought they ended really good. So if they have a good note, they ended on a good note. Junior high got a big win. Girls got a big win. The high school ended on a good note as far as those falls. But, Bixby's an extremely tough team. So,
sure. It's always great to get some good wrestling, in the room and get up against some good, wrestlers, some good competition, because it really lets you know where you're at and what you have to work on. I saw some good wrestling from both ends. I thought it was entertaining. And I'm looking forward to seeing them, compete again later on this season.
Well, you said coming in tonight, Chris, it was not going to be easy. Bixby second, Broken Arrow ranked 3. So tough night of wrestling here in the field house, but we still got a lot of wrestling left to go till they get to the state tournament.
No doubt. They'll be ready for dual state, and they'll be ready for state regionals and states. So Rod will have this team ready.
Absolutely. We'd like to thank our One Club sponsors again, First National Bank of Broken Arrow, Simpson St. John, Tulsa Bone and Joint, TTCU Federal Credit Union, Matthews Ford, the Arrow Group, and Quick Trip. We also want to give a shout out to our very own Greg Spencer, the director of ArrowVision, and our running the stream directoring tonight, Blake Shy, producer and engineer, and of course to the students that helped out as well. I also want to thank Isaiah Page for helping out with color analyst duty, and Mr. Chris Forbes as well.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Thank you, Dan, for having us.
No
Appreciate
problem.
Such a pleasure. Yeah, I hope to be back.
We'll get you both back on another ArrowVision broadcast. Until next time, which will be tomorrow night, Muskogee in the house taking on Broken Arrow. Girls at 6:30, boys at 8. We'll have you covered on ArrowVision. Broken Arrow Tigers signing off. I'm Dan Hawk.
Appreciate it.